Live Like Rylee means to love Jesus and to have a passion for other people to know who Jesus is.
It means to follow Christ and pursue Him like she did.
That's easy. To live like Rylee is to do everything with your whole heart and to have an all-in passionate mindset.
And being bold for the God that we serve.
I believe to live like Rylee means you're not ashamed or hesitant to share your faith and love for God.
To me, it is just to live for Christ and to be like Christ.
It means to love God, to love people, be intentional, to be passionate, and to be transparent, just so we can point people back to Christ.
To live like Rylee, I guess you could say it means to love like Rylee. She had a beautiful and forgiving heart for everyone.
But you know what I can promise you? It will change you, and it will change your life.
She always knew the right thing to say. Every single time. Every single time it was always like spot on.
And she always knew what we were going through, it felt like.
Yes.
I'll tell you this, everyone mattered to her.
Rylee definitely saw what people were hurting over. She was very, very keen on the hurts, hang-ups of people, whether that be just personal, independent hurts, whether there were multiple people like a small group. She was very easy to see that, and it was very easy for her to solve those and to weed out problems and weed out hurts and say, hey, this is what God's word says. Whether you accept it, whether you want to believe it, whether you want to take it or not, this is what God's word says. And so if you want to be a follower of Christ, this is how you face this problem.
The love she gave me, the unconditional, I'm here for you. You are welcomed with me. I am safe. You are safe with me. And I'm gonna love you through it, and we're gonna get through this. Not you can do this, but we can do this. I'm bolder in my faith because of who she was.
She taught me, and she taught everyone at this church, and whoever she came in contact with, how to be a warrior for Jesus.
We aren't the only ones with problems. Everyone has a struggle, and we can put that aside and still help others.
Every encounter I had with her, she was very bold. She was okay with being herself no matter who she was around, and even seeing her outside of the church, her character didn't change, and she was willing and open to tell anybody about who Christ was, and just the way she lived in that bold way exemplified that to a T.
But I can tell you this, students, if I'm being real tonight, the only way that you will get out of this circumstance is if you change your perspective and you lean on Him. Only way you can get out of it.
She wasn't a person who was just there at church and lived a different life. She was really like that, and it inspired me to, even when you're at home, just to be live like Christ and be yourself.
I love her for that, because not everyone would do something like that. A lot of people would be selfish and I need to focus on myself, but she put her problems aside and helped us still.
She made everybody feel like they matter, whether a believer or a non-believer. She made you feel like you mattered to her, just like you matter to Jesus,
Everything Rylee did was passionate. She was passionate about so many different things, and number one, she was passionate about Christ, and she was passionate about seeing life change in people. She was passionate about helping the hurting. She was passionate about, the list goes on and on with her.
When she was in the hospital, she had this nurse that the nurse didn't tell her anything that she was having a hard time, but Rylee just felt a tug from the Lord telling her to pray for this girl, that she was carrying some shame or some guilt. And so Rylee asked me and Jason both, hey, can you pray for my nurse?
I would say watching her go through that, and just watching her have a smile and be positive, and it changed the way I see things, that you can always be positive even through going through cancer. If she can do it, I can do it.
And it's still a struggle, but just thinking back to that message that Rylee talked about is, no matter what other people think of me or where I may be, God's still pursuing me.
So the hope for Live Like Rylee Foundation is for God to be glorified and for His will to be done. Our goal for the foundation is to honor the life of Rylee Taylor in and through its works. But ultimately we want life change. If that life change is for one individual or multiple, it's ultimately God's opportunities, what He brings to us. We want the life change to happen. We're going to start small. We're going to start here locally with partnering with local churches. We're going to grow as God sees fit. That could be throughout the United States, it would be globally, internationally. We don't know, but God's will We ultimately want to change lives for Christ. If it's 1 or 1 million, we're here to partner with those churches and help in that way.
Simply put, to live like Rylee is to live like Christ.
But my bottom line for tonight is loving your life comes from knowing your worth. Because if you want to live a life that is worth living and you want to love the life you live, you have to know your worth. You have to know your worth isn't in these earthly things and these worldly things, and it's not in a person, but it's in Jesus.
If you feel led to donate to the Live Like Rylee Foundation, just go to our website to the donate button.
And if you know somebody that we could possibly help through the foundation, please reach out for questions. Thank you and God bless.